What's up, guys? I was dealing with AT disc golf, and today I'm gonna talk about how to carry my bag. So first, my putters. First one I got is an XT Nova. Really good disc. It flies straight. I use this mostly on all my putts, approaches. Sometimes I even throw it off the tee pad on short hole, so it's a really good disc to have. Another really good disc to have is the Star Aviator. Comes in handy. I put this thing on a little Anheuser or Heiser, and it holds the line really well. So if I have a tree in front of me or something like that, I just put a little Anheuser or Heiser, and it does pretty good for me. So my next one is a Discraft Jawbreaker Challenger. Don't use this one too much. I usually just use it for upshots here and there, but this one's about to come out of the bag once I get a new putter. So now my mid ranges. The first one I have is a G-Star V-Rock. This one's just in here for now, so I can test it out and see if I like it. It's a really flimsy. I'm not really big on flimsy discs, so I don't think I'm gonna keep it in there too long. So figure out what to do with this. But it flies pretty straight and breaks left slightly. So my next one is a Metal Flake Gator. It's a really nice disc, but I've only had it for a week, so I don't really have too much to say about it. I do know that from throwing it one time that it seems to be pretty overstable, so we'll see how it does. Next I have a Champion Rock 3. Really like the rocks. This is what I use if I'm like stuck in the woods or something, I need to get out. I'll throw this in a little Heiser, and it's pretty overstable, so it usually does pretty good for me. Even in an Anheuser I can get out with it, so pretty good disc. Next one is a Discraft Comet. Shout out Awesome Minutes for getting me this for Christmas, thank you. Really good disc. I like how I can put this on a line and it'll hold it pretty well, so this is what I use for that. If I really need to get a line and keep that line, this is what I'll throw, so definitely need one of those in your bag. Discraft Meteor, really nice stamp on it. I've been trying out some new Discraft, so this one's new as well. I do know that this is a little understable. I bought Ace with it the other day, so that's pretty awesome. My last mid-range is a Latitude 64 Claymore, really flat. This is the one I throw mostly off the tee, about the only mid-range I throw off the tee, besides the Meteor. I'm working on throwing that off the tee as well, but this thing flies really straight, so if you need a straight flying mid-range, Latitude 64 Claymore is pretty good. Now my fairways, I have a Discraft Zombie. This thing flies really straight as well. The only thing I don't like about this is the grip on it, the lip on it, is it's more of like a mid-range type, so I don't really know if I like that for a fairway. So it's gonna take some getting used to. Next one I have is a Champion TL. I throw this when I need to really place the disc, because this is really good for me to place. It's pretty stable before it starts breaking, so if you need something to place the disc with, or place your shot with, this is the disc for you. Next one I have is a Champion Eagle. Really good disc. This is the one I flick most of the time. I hardly ever throw this thing back in. I even throw this off the tee pad if I need a really good skip shot, because this thing skips really hard. So now on my distance drivers, first up is a Champion Wraith. I like this thing because if there's like a really tight tunnel up there at the tee pad, you need to get through some trees or something, throw this thing because it stays flat for a pretty good while before it starts breaking, so I really like this disc. Next up is Champion Firebird. Firebird I use it more as like a fairway. I can flick this thing pretty good, so if I'm not using one of the ones I just mentioned earlier, this is what I'll probably use. Discraft Nuke SS. This thing is probably the disc I can throw the farthest in my bag. This thing's really unstable, so if you need a really unstable disc, this is one for you. Next up is a Destroyer. Shout out to Brand for getting me this for Christmas. I've always liked Destroyers, so this thing is pretty overstable, so I only throw this back in. I hardly ever flick this thing, but really nice disc. Next up is the Champion Boss. Really like the dial on this. This is probably one of the discs I started out with, so I'll probably always have one of these. I can flick this thing pretty far. I can backhand it pretty far. It's really overstable, so if you need a really overstable disc, a Boss is the one. The Champion Colossus. This disc is pretty similar to a Boss, except for this thing goes a lot farther. And I use this thing in the wind too, because it fights the wind really well. So if I want a shot that's similar to the Boss in the wind, this is what I'll throw. It's a 14 speed. Next up, I have a Champion Beast. I really like the Beast. Anybody that knows me knows this is probably one of my favorite discs. This thing's really beat in, so Had to get me another one because every time I throw this backhand, it goes right, so it's turned into an understable beast. If I flick this thing, it's gonna go left, so it's still not a bad disc at all. So my new one, my new Champion Beast, it's really nice stamp on it. Still trying to break this thing in. So once I get this thing broken in, it's gonna fly really straight. So if you need a really straight flying disc, stable disc, Beast is for you. Alright guys, well that's all I have. We should have some more videos to follow. Thank you.